Well, when we first got married, I read some studies. I'm in, in the medical field. I read some studies that link breast cancer to red meat. And I talked to my wife and I said, why would we eat red meat if there's any chance of that?
When he first told me that he wanted to try to have a healthier lifestyle, I hadn't done any reading on my own, and I was I was like, what? I recipes and everything. I was like, what will I cook or what will I make? And so I wasn't exactly super supportive right in the beginning.
So we were married in 79. So we kind of started doing that. We, like a lot of people, thought fish and chicken were more healthy at the time. And so we kind of went that way.
We cut out beef first, and that was really easy. A little harder to do chicken. I had a lot of chicken recipes, but the thing that was hard for me was stuff like cheese. I love cheese, and interestingly now I can't even stand cheese. I just cannot eat it. And it's funny how your taste buds change over time, but it was a slow progression.
Some of the early books I read were Dr. McDougall's books. Later, Earl Updike wrote a book called The Mormon Diet, and so finally I just said, I can't deny this any longer. It's not worth it to me to have that risk. And so we dove in, I think in November of 90, and our kids were pretty small. I think our oldest was maybe 10 or 11, and they kind of had a little problem with it for a month or so, and then pretty soon we made great food and they ate it. And our oldest son, actually, he never did like to eat the meat. We're always like, eat those chicken nuggets, we bought them for you. But then it's like, he was happy he didn't have to eat it. And so it's just been great for us. We have loved every minute of it. We constantly searching for great recipes. We have a bunch, and so it's great for us. For me, the main big change that I saw is I always, in my youth, had what I called seasonal allergies or hay fever. And so in the summer, particularly late in the summer when the weeds got dry, if I were near them, my throat would squeeze off. I would cough and sneeze, and I'd want to tear my throat out. And I had to go inside. And even the year before I changed my diet, my brother had a little cabin up Hobble Creek Canyon, and it got so bad I just had to throw the kids in the car and leave. And so we changed our diet, and I wasn't even thinking of allergies. And so we changed our diet in November. The next summer came and went, and I didn't have one problem. And it's not like I'm waiting for an attack, but it got to be like November, and I got thinking, and I think I may have been reading because I'm constantly reading. I'm like, I didn't have one attack this year, and I've never had one since. And so that's a huge blessing for me because, those times are a bit of a nightmare. And so, yeah, big change. But, I'm healthy. I had a 50-year-old. I never go to the doctor. Maybe I should, but I went to a 50-year-old physical, and the doctor says, Rogan, I can always find something wrong with a 50-year-old, but he says I can't find anything wrong with you. I think about it all the time because I work on people in pain. When I walk, I think I feel so good. When I run, when I ride my bike, it's like, wow, this is great. I love every second. I love every day. In my practice every day, because it's healthy oriented, people want to be healthy. And so every chance I can, I'll talk to them about their diet. And, obviously some are overweight or need obvious help, and they're, for the most part, pretty grateful that I would even talk to them about it openly. And not all of them change, but I've had a lot change, hundreds. And the blessing that they feel is awesome. But the types of people that I see are, some don't want to hear it, and some are like, oh, okay. Or I get them to read some of the books that are out, watch some of the videos online now that are so great. And so it's awesome to see when some people will just go with it and learn it, and other people will come when they're having a crisis. And I'm like, why wait till you have a crisis? Go with it now. Try it now. Let's not wait.